Hey everyone, my name is Danilo Petrovic.
I'm Ilya Marchenko.
I'm Denis Kudla.
I'm Evgeny Donskoy.
I'm Henry Laaksonen.
I'm Peter Torebko, and you're listening to the Game to Love podcast.
Hey, welcome back, tennis fans. We're here for a little bit of an impromptu podcast. This one is just to announce Serena Williams is out of Wimbledon in the first round, losing due to injury. She has pulled out against Sasnovich after a bit of a slip and a fall, twisting what looked like to be her ankle and already bandaged leg. So a bit sad to see my winner of the tournament. I had her, I jumped on the hype train, and now I'm just very sad just to see Serena. She was in tears on the court. It was just super sad. And you had everybody, we were watching it at the time. It chokes you up inside, mate. I just hate to see someone who's such a great at the sport going out in this way, in this fashion. Just sad.
Yeah, worst thing is it's day 2 now of Wimbledon and it's our second shock exit. At one stage, I'll be honest, I thought we was going to be doing a shock exit for another player in Roger Federer because he didn't look comfortable. But it is, in fact, Serena Williams, and she was the favourite, the bookies' favourite. She was going for 24. There's a lot at stake here. I know you, I think, got carried away. I think I said that to you afterwards, especially doing the bracket preview, going and putting her through all the way to the final and winning that. I wasn't as convinced, and the reason for that was the way she's been playing at Roland Garros before and her movement and everything else. But saying that, she did start here very brightly. She went up a break. She was leading 3-1 and things were looking great on centre court. The crowd were cheering for her. And ultimately, she had a slip like everyone else did today. And when you're 39, I believe she is, approaching 40 soon, you can't afford to have the slips like the younger players. And for someone who's had a lot of injuries recently as well, you can see all the bandaging on her legs. It's just the worst possible scenario for someone like that, slipping, 39 years old as well. And it finished her tournament. Let's be honest. She was injured. She was crying, trying to serve. It was really heartbreaking to see. I felt really sad inside, I must admit, because no one wants to see a lady crying, especially on court, especially a champion, and especially Serena Williams when there's so much at stake for her. She's seen her sister Venus go through today, which was epic. But Serena is packing her bags and going home. No more Wimbledon for her. First time she's not advanced from the first round, I believe, as well. And ultimately, the main thing we need to talk about is the courts. Like, why are they so slippery? I think every year there is an element of that at the start of the tournament. They're always a little bit more slippery. But for me, the big part of it is the fact that the roof's closed. And with the closed roof, it just makes everything a little bit more slippery. I'll let you go for the science explanation.
Well, I wouldn't go to me for science. But yeah, we were sort of talking about it during the Kyrgios Umber match and how it could just be down to the conditions. We're suffering from some very humid weather here in the UK. They're closing the roof. It's raining outside, but it's also very humid. They said that there might be moisture coming up from inside, like from beneath the grass and coming up and out of the grass. We had Sir Andy Murray, coming out and speaking and said brutal for Serena, but centre court is extremely slippy. I can't even speak. Extremely slippy out there. It's not easy to move out there, and we've seen it. Manarino suffered a really bad injury today. Twisted his knee, which that is even worse than Serena's, to be honest. Yeah, Serena looked like an ankle thing. It was just horrible to see. But Manarino was playing some great tennis and looked like he was going to cause the upset of the tournament. And then that happens, and it's just, I don't know there's no one really to blame.
No, I don't think you can blame anyone. I think maybe I initially was like, come on, the organisers need to do something better about these slippery courts, but you can't do anything. It's just the grass is slippery. And I know it sounds a bit stupid what I'm going to say, but you need to play a bit differently when it's this slippery. shorter steps. You maybe can't exert yourself as much because you can't afford to get injured. And you've got to play to the conditions you're in. And if the conditions are like that, you need to adjust the way you play, which is easier said than done, no doubt about it. Because look at Djokovic, one of the best movers there is in tennis. He couldn't stand up at all. The amount of times he fell over. Jack Draper slipped a few times as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's been slipping. There's not much you can do. The only thing I would advise, I don't know if it's possible, and that's something I've been thinking about. What about putting some like little studs in your trainers?
Yeah, well, this is what the people have said.
I don't think that's allowed because surely it would just rip up the court.
Oh yeah, the court would just
they would definitely not allow that. But some kind of grip in the trainers would be beneficial right now.
I think the only thing that would do it would be studs, though. That's the thing.
Look, like golf shoes, like with the spikes in.
Yeah, but it's like running shoe. If you slide once,
well, you can't slide.
The whole court is ripped to shreds. And this is like Federer. He sort of came out and he was talking, and he's in his statement he said, "Oh my God, I can't believe it." Said it's obviously terrible that it's back-to-back matches and it hits Serena as well. And you do have to move very, very carefully out there. If you push too hard in the wrong moments, and he said you do go. No, it's lost it. But he said I think he's just trying to say you have to, because I noticed when Federer was playing, they were saying his game style. He has a lot of small steps and he maneuvers around the ball very, very well with his game style. That is his movement on court. If you're not that type of player that has small steps to maneuver into position to hit your forehands, your backhands, and you're more you're rushing around the court, danger is on the horizon. And you've seen it with multiple players already. Most notably, the first match of the tournament.
Yeah,
Djokovic was on his ass about 4 or 5 times. So was Draper.
It's probably the worst though, because it was the first match on the court, on centre court, so it was slippery as ever. Then it's only going to hopefully get less slippery. But I think with the roof closed, that added dynamic and the science, whatever you want to call me, I don't want to go into details because I'm going to say something stupid. But I feel like it's the condensation of the whole thing. It's just. I don't know, basically, but it's slippery.
Definitely.
I don't know why, but it's very, very slippery. And Wildlife makes a good point. Oddly enough, and I think Nick Kyrgios slipped once, but you spotted something quite interesting with the way he was running, and he was making very like short steps.
Yeah, somebody said that he has. I think it might have been Almino or someone in the chat said he's always run like a penguin. But I don't know if that's
maybe it helps him though. Yeah.
But I noticed the way that he, even if there was a shot that was difficult to get to that was cross court, he would sort of scurry across in short steps across the court. And if he couldn't get there, he would sort of give up a meter away from the ball. He wouldn't just try and dash over there and try and get it, because you're going to end up, you saw he even pulled his groin a little bit during that final set, and that he didn't even do anything. It was probably all it takes, and you've seen with a lot of these players this week, it's just the matter of just a small tweak like that on your feet on the court, and then your foot goes out, tweaks like the whole of your leg, tweaks your groin, tweaks maybe your ankle. And you saw Serena, she collapsed on the floor today. It was horrible to see. She was just on her knees crying on centre court.
Yeah, you can understand why she's crying as well, because she probably put everything into this. She knew this was a good opportunity to get 24. And I think it sort of leads on to the next question. I know everyone here is here to talk about Serena, so let's focus on that. And what is next now for Serena Williams? Because I can be quite critical of her. I have been many times on the podcast. She certainly has come to the end of her career. I'm never going to be the one telling her to retire. I think that should come from her. I don't think anyone should be able to, because she's definitely earned the right to decide. And she'll know when the time's right with that. But in terms of her being competitive and winning things, especially Grand Slams, I'm not sure she's ever going to be able to do it. And I'm going to make that statement. The only thing I did say was I thought maybe this Wimbledon, she could have had a good shot, because there's not many people. I did big her up in some of the draw previews and things. But another year on, I can't see things improving. They're only probably going to get worse, if I'm being honest. And I think now we've really reached the end of it, where she's not going to be considered, say, a favourite again. She was the bookies' favourite to win this year, Wimbledon. I can't see that's ever. I don't think that's ever going to be the situation again. I'm not sure if she's ever going to be a favourite for a slam. Maybe US Open she could be if her injury is not too bad.
I thought it was a bit rich having her as a favourite for Wimbledon. If I'm honest, like I know that you said like at the time you're like, wow, you got two favourites, but for me, Serena was never the favourite for Wimbledon this year. I know that she's obviously won it lots of times. Has no one been watching her movement of late and seeing how compromised she is on the court when it comes to like running back and forth? She can't get to, even at the start of the match before she slipped, she wasn't getting to balls. That Sassnovich
It was 3-1 up though.
Yeah, but Sasnovich, if she hit it into the open court, and if Serena has to run from side to side a couple of times, she's normally done after about 3 or 4 shots.
It's the movement, isn't it? The problem is the ball striking and the power is still there.
Yeah,
and that's what makes her dangerous. Because regardless of us saying all of this, if she wasn't to be injured today, I still think she would have won.
Yeah, definitely. I think she
has enough for someone like Sasnovich, even still, because she's got that much quality flowing through her. She's the greatest of all time on the women's side, and she's even greater when she's at Wimbledon. But a bit like Roger, and I don't want to bring him in on this as well, we're seeing a big shift now, and I'm not sure if these guys are ever really going to be able to win a Wimbledon or a Grand Slam at that again.
Well, it's you got to remember.
I think it's been evident this year.
This is the highest level of tennis that you're going to be playing, and you're not playing like you're playing. You're not playing in the park. It's not warm up. It's not practice. You're playing against people who are playing week in, week out, playing warm up tournaments, playing all the time. And if you're just going to be nipping in and out just for a Grand Slam, I don't think you're going to, and especially not match fit. You're not gonna compete, even with people like Mannarino. Like Mannarino's a good player. He's had a good showing on grass just before the tournament. I think he lost to Sam Querrey in the tournament before. No disrespect in that, but he won a couple of matches anyway in that tournament. I think like people like this, you got to remember that they're solid top 50 players, really. And if you're not competing against them, what hope do you have against the likes of someone like Novak Djokovic?
Exactly.
Or like on the women's side, like, well, what hope do you have against someone? We had Coco Gauff versus Serena Williams coming up. I mean, the movement thing, who's got the better movement between those two? I think
I think now after today's, obviously it's difficult because now we're never going to see Serena Williams or Coco, but say if she was to continue and she didn't have the injury and she was to progress, you'd have really fancied still Coco in that one. I'm glad I had her beating Serena. I think that was a good call from me.
Wise choice.
She didn't even get that far, and it is really heartbreaking. I think the saddest part for me was her just crying, seeing her crying on call.
It's horrible.
It really hurt. And the first day of Wimbledon, her first day, second day of Wimbledon, and she's already out. We've seen some big people go out. We've seen obviously she's won Wimbledon however many times. Kvitova's won it twice. She's out as well. Some Grand Slam champions falling. And
the youth,
maybe I don't know. I don't want to sound crazy. Barbara Krejcikova is on a crazy winning streak. She won again today.
Wow!
Can anyone stop Barbara?
Well, mate, that would be impressive. She did it's nearly impossible to do the clay court and
it doesn't happen.
Double.
No, but listen to this. This is how crazy it could get. I don't know if she's entered the doubles here, but say Barbara wins the singles French Open, the doubles French Open, and then does the same at Wimbledon on a different surface after about a week. For me, that would go up there as one of the greatest sports achievements I've ever seen.
Mate, it would. I think so.
In tennis, definitely. I don't think there's many better than that.
I think that she may struggle against the power hitters, though. If there's a big server like a Sabalenka, someone like that on this type of surface, Krejcikova's game is suited definitely to the clay. She likes a bit more time to just caress the ball. She can even let the ball bounce behind her a little bit before she takes the swing and hit it. But it's almost like a Medvedev people were comparing her to. But I'm granted, hold hands up, I didn't watch her match today. We didn't have time. No. So I'm hoping that she does great in this tournament. Hopefully we get to cover one of her matches. Hope she goes far, mate. I hope this might be the future.
Yeah, and I think, definitely. I think she could go great, but just sort of bringing it back to Serena.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm just trying to work out what happens next here from her. Hopefully she's not too injured. There was a point I was going to make, but it's completely gone from me now. No, it's fine. I don't know if you've got anything you wanted to say about Serena.
Well, I think how bad is the injury is the one thing for me which we just need to sort of focus on. Is it career defining? Like, is this
No,
or
no,
is
not
this
for me.
is
She's
there
going to
a
be back. She's going to keep going. I'm just not sure if the questions are going to be asked now of her, and it's not. It's sad because I don't know if she didn't slip here today, then we wouldn't be asking these questions. So maybe we should lay off her a little bit. Let's talk about Sasnovich because she's the one who's advancing now. She's going to be over the moon with that because she was down a break, but she broke back and she was playing some good stuff. She still had to beat Serena Williams and get the balls back in play to make it competitive. And well, it was 3-3 in the end, and she ended up advancing. I don't know if you know who she's playing next, do you?
Bear with me 1 second. I'll just bring it up. I was
Because
just going to say that she's number 100 in the world. You got to remember about that. Which it makes it sound a lot worse, doesn't it, when you're going out to somebody who is 100 in the world? But she will be playing the winner of Habino and Pella in the next round, and then a potential third round matchup with, well, it could be Kerber or potentially Anna Cunha.
And she did the press after the match. Obviously, she spoke to everyone, and it was quite nice hearing from her. I thought she was quite a good personality, quite
really
funny.
Nice.
We was both watching it at the same time, and we was talking through it. So I can't exactly remember what she was saying, but I'm really happy for her. She said that she gave a lot of respect to Serena, wishing her well and a speedy recovery. And now she has an opportunity which she didn't expect she was going to get. Hopefully, she can take it and do it in the name of Serena. Because I always think that if you are to knock out a big player, don't do it in vain. Do it and make a name of yourself. That then we can look back on it and say, Serena went out to Sasnovich, but look what Sasnovich done. She had a great run. She got all the way to the quarterfinals, and she took the opportunity with both hands. It'll be sad if she just then goes out next round.
This might give you a little bit more hope for Sasnovich. So her best result at Wimbledon was back in 2018. She took out Petra Kvitova in the first round in 3 sets and bageled her in the last set, and then went all the way to the 4th round where she met Ostapenko and lost to her. So she served up a bagel against Taylor Townsend in the 2nd round as well. So she's good on the grass. So there's no denying it. She's been to the 4th round before at Wimbledon. And Ostapenko, as we know, well, she's a nightmare for anybody on her day. And that was the year that she got to the semi-finals post Ostapenko. That was her best result.
She's won a title now on grass as well, winning Eastbourne just before coming to Wimbledon. We've got her going far. We've not seen her yet, but she could do a lot of damage now, especially that Serena's gone. I'm not sure if she's in the same section. I forget now the draw, but I'm sure everyone else knows. But whoever was in that section, it's opened it up massively for them. I don't know if you know some of the names in the Serena bit.
Well, you got obviously Coco Gauff was the 4th round matchup, wasn't it? You had the Angelique Kerber would be the 3rd round matchup potentially. Well, it's opened it up now. Kerber will be looking. She's qualified in straight sets against Stojanovic, and obviously Coco Gauff. It's opened up massively for her, so she'll be looking. She could get to the quarterfinals. I reckon she can make a good run here now. I think you could have a good bracket there on the women's side, mate.
Yeah, well, better than my men's one. But I think we're going to wrap that up there. Yeah. It's a sad day for Serena Williams. It's not going to be 24 now. Not sure if it's ever going to be, if I'm honest. But while she's entering tournaments, you can never discount her because Serena Williams, the greatest of all time, never ever bet against her because she's a fighter on court. She's got sheer power. And she's got a very good tennis IQ as well. And if the injuries lay off her, she's going to be definitely dangerous on any tennis court, on any surface, in my opinion. So let's see what the future holds for her. She's had a great career, regardless of that.
One more US
Open. She can recover very soon. That's my aim. I just hope she recovers quickly.
Wow. I hope so too. Hopefully we get to see one more US Open at least from her. And hopefully the recovery goes well. That's all you can hope.
Yep. Big thanks to everyone who joined us for this one. I know it's late for many of you. It's approaching midnight here in the UK. We're going to get some sleep, prepare for tomorrow. We've got Sir Andy Murray on. We've got Djokovic playing as well. We're going to try and cover as much as possible on the podcast. So make sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to get all the updates. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for more Wimbledon action. And hopefully no rain.
Yeah, let's hope not. Get rid of those clouds. See you tomorrow, guys.
See you guys.